Namaste and welcome to the fifth episode of Yoga Shakti with me, Shailaja Menon. So, mention yoga, and immediately what comes to most people's minds is Surya Namaskaram or the sun salutations. But unfortunately, it has been downgraded to some form of warm up practice or stretches. So, today, let's explore the sun salutations with a deeper, more meaningful context. Traditionally, Surya Namaskaram is considered a practice through which we offer our salutation to the sun. Now, what is the sun? The sun is considered a representation of an exploding ball of energy and fire. And fire has this beautiful property of burning all impurities into pure light. Symbolically in yoga, light refers to wisdom and an illumination that arises from the burning of impurities. Sun salutations is thus a journey and a practice of offering our gratefulness and humility to our inner essence, which is the same as the essence in everyone and everything else, an essence of energy and light that guides us from darkness to wisdom. So, as we connect to the sun salutation with this beautiful and profound context, it becomes a meditative practice through which we connect to our own inner essence. So, offering this practice to the sun within us all. Namaste. So let's step into the practice. The Surya Namaskaram is actually a series of 12 positions. So before we go into that, I'm just breaking it down into smaller sequences, right? And at the end of the episode, we will put it all together into one sequence. So to begin with, we've done down dog in many earlier episodes. So just come onto your hands and knees, and then press down through your toes. Keep the knees bent initially and then just move your shoulders back. Keep the hips moving back, right? And then slowly work on straightening your leg so you can straighten the right leg, bringing the heel down, right? And then straighten your left leg, right? And then eventually straightening both legs, right? So this is a beautiful down dog position. And then from here, we're going to learn to step forward, right? So see if you can just take your right leg forward to the outside of your right hand. Yeah. And then as you exhale, just step the leg back. Okay. So as you inhale, left leg forward to the outside of your left hand. As you exhale, step it back. So I'm just going to do it another few times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And it may be initially hard to bring the leg all the way forward. Yeah. So if that is the case, then you just step forward as much as you can, and then you can drop the back knee down and then consciously use your hand to bring the foot forward. Yeah, because in Surya Namaskaram, we eventually need to have the palms, the feet, all of it in one line. Yeah, so you can just work in this way, take the leg back, step your leg forward. So if it doesn't come all the way forward, drop your knee, use your hand, bring the foot forward. Yeah, so this is one option that you have, right? And as you exhale, step back and drop your knees down into child pose. Okay, and then slowly coming up again. Another position we need to work into is Bhujangasana, yeah, the cobra position. So from downward facing dog position, Adho Mukha Svanasana, we just lower down. So drop your knees down, open the chest, open the chin. So remember, don't allow the shoulders to go up. Press down through the palms, open your shoulders, Just hold the position here. And then as you exhale, press down through your toes and moving back. Right? So just doing a few times here. Inhale, lower down. Open your chest. Open the heart space. As you exhale, moving back. Inhale, lower your hips. Open your chest. Toes go back. As you exhale, press down through your toes and moving back. And last round. And drop your knees down. Move your hips back into child pose. So we're going to move into what is considered one of the most challenging positions in the Surya Namaskar, which is called the knee chest chin, as it requires a little bit of arm strength, yeah, upper arm strength, which could be quite lacking when we start off. It's something like a push-up and or a semi-push-up, right? So we start with down dog. So from down dog, drop your knees down and you have to try to bring your chest in between your palms, yeah, so make sure that your shoulders and your wrist are in line, yeah, because sometimes they're not. And then from here, keeping your hip up, yeah, you have to slowly like descend down, and then to come out and inhale and rise up, yeah. So exhale, moving back, drop your knees down, right? Check your alignment, shoulders and wrist in line. And then, so when you come forward, chest down and hip up. Now, if this is completely not accessible at this time, what we can do is just drop the knees down and just lower the hip, yeah, like going into a cobra. Just gently lower the hip and go all the way down. And then toes back, lift up into down dog, and join the rest of the sequence. Right? So another thing you can do is what we did in the previous sequence. Just move from down dog to this position. Move back and chabos. Okay, so here goes, and now we're going to go into the actual Surya Namaskaram, combining all these different little mini sequences that we were doing until now, and we're going to add on some more as well. So to know that every movement actually is linked to the previous movement, and it also has a certain breathing. Yeah, so there's an inhale, there's an exhale that's linked to each movement, and then because the first round we've been doing, we'll be doing quite slowly. So you just breathe as you go through the different positions, right? And then the second round, when we do a little bit faster, we'll go with the exact inhale and exhale, right? And also to know that every position has alignment, yeah. So just be a bit careful about that as well. We'll just go over that as we go into each of the positions. So the first position actually is namaskaram, and then we go into a back bend, yeah. So to prepare for that, just open your shoulders, yeah? So just externally rotate your shoulders so that the arm bones draw back, and keep the pelvis moving forward, yeah. So this area has to kind of move forward. So usually what happens, some common things I see is people keep this part very very stiff, yeah, and then only the upper part kind of bends back, yeah. So try to just connect to this whole beautiful movement of arching back, right? And the other thing is also to keep the arms alongside your ears, yeah, for which you require a little bit of shoulder flexion. Yeah, so otherwise sometimes I see the body going back, hands going forward, right? So all of that. So just try to move in sequence, right? The arms alongside your ears as you just find your point. Yeah, just beautifully arch back. Okay, so right, initially your arches may not be so deep, but this helps you to deepen your arches. Yeah, so as you inhale, open your chest, open the heart, exhale, and come back. Yeah, you can even move in a sequence. So as you inhale, 1, 2, 3. As you exhale back, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so last round as you inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Right, so we're going to go into the whole flow now. So always start at the beginning of your mat because you need to be able to step your leg back. Yeah, so again, sometimes I see people standing in the middle of the mat, right, or standing at the end of the mat as well, right? So come to the front of your mat. So this is position 1, and 2 is arch back. 3 is fold forward. So this is a beautiful forward bend. It's a standing forward fold called Uttanasana. Yeah, so this also requires a little bit of work, right? So eventually you're working, you might be, your body might be slightly away from your legs like this, right? But as you continue with your practice, as you really work, right, you'll slowly be able to get your chest and your abdomen, right, to be really close to your thighs. Drop your head and then try to keep the tips of your fingers and toes in one straight line, right? So suppose you don't have this kind of hamstring length, you can always keep your knees bent, yeah? So you get the tips of your fingers and toes in one line. Then from here, step your right leg all the way back. Drop the knee down and make sure your hip comes down as well. Yeah, toes point back. So a lot of the times I see people here or I see people without the knees down, right? So just going through the real sequence. So drop your knees down, hips go back, and you can also lift that heart space a bit. Yeah, so it gives you that opening at the heart space. Try to draw back through the shoulders a bit. Really feel that beautiful opening. And then from here, press your toes down, lift the knee off, and step the left leg back into plank, right? So we've done plank in the previous episodes. So most of you know this, palms pressing down, engage your upper back, engage your abdomen. And from here we go into our recently practiced knee chest chin. So again, you just move your hands back a little bit, try to bring your chest down. Okay, inhale, rising up into Cobra, Bhujangasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, and then remember all the lunge positions we practiced earlier. So bring your right leg forward, knee down, hip down, look up. Step the left leg forward, fold deep. Inhale, rising up. And release. So we're back into 12 here. So when we start the next round of 12 positions, we start with the left side. So when we did the first set, the right leg went back and right leg came forward. Now our left leg will go back and left leg will come forward. So here we start arch back, fold. Okay, left leg goes all the way back, hip down, look up, lift the knee off, right leg back, knee chest chin. Inhale, exhale. So left leg came forward, right leg comes forward. So it's also important to know that there are many different kinds of sun salutations. Yeah. So we just tend to think that there is just this one, sequence called sun salutation. So there are many different styles in yoga, and several of them have several different variations of sun salutation. Right. So the style that I was doing so far is something called Shivananda style. Yeah, which is popularly practiced by Shivananda style practitioners. So, some of the common mistakes, I'm just going over that before we go into one last round. So, usually, when we go into plank, right, the hip either tends to go all the way down or it tends to be somewhere there. Yeah, so we went over these in the plank, so that's why I didn't go over it too much today. But just a reminder, yeah, that just you have to push down, engage your upper back, engage your abdomen, right? And this is the plank position. And then from down dog, when you step forward, sometimes what happens is that the knee goes forward. Yeah? So you see a lot of people like this, right? And that's not good for the knee joint, right? It puts a lot of pressure on the ligaments. So the correct alignment is actually to get this knee and the heel in one straight line. Yeah, so this is something else you must remember when you're moving into and out of this position. Yeah, so when your leg goes back and it comes forward, try to get this knee and the heel in line. Yeah, so remember, we're not going here, or sometimes it's a bit like that. We're not doing that either. Yeah, so knee and heel in one line. Yeah, so we'll just go through one last round. So, like we said, each side is actually 12 positions, right? So when we do the right and we do the left, totally we do 24 positions. Yeah, so now we do all the 24 with the breath, which is how you will do it when you do your own practice. Yeah, so this is one, exhale, two, inhale, three, exhale, four, inhale, five, retain your breath, six, exhale, seven, inhale, eight, exhale, nine, inhale, 10, exhale, 11, inhale, 12, exhale. Now 13 is an exhale again. Yeah. 14, inhale, 15, exhale. Now 16 is inhale and left leg back. Yeah. 17, hold your breath, right leg back. 18, 19, inhale. 20, exhale. Now remember, left leg forward. 21, inhale, left. 22, exhale, right. 23, inhale. 24, exhale. So just stay here for a few breaths. Just watching your breath as it flows in and out. As you inhale and exhale, keep your eyes closed so your mind can get completely absorbed in the flow of your breath, sensing your increased heart rate, sensing that energy of fire pulsing through your body. So, before I end this episode, just going over one last tip to help you improve your back bends, right? So, in the studio, this is what we do, we use the wall. And in the beginning, when you arch back into the wall, just do what is comfortable for you. Yeah. So, don't work on pushing yourself so much. Just be easy about it, right? So, as you inhale, just lift your arms up, pelvis moving forward, just reach the wall, push against the wall. As you exhale, come back up. Yeah, but as you keep doing this, train your body to come up together. Yeah, because sometimes when we go back, we're all right. But then when we come up, we twist this way, we twist that way, right? And then the coordination completely goes off. And it's also good to strengthen the muscles when we keep coming up, yes, in a similar way. So again, to increase the back bend, so if this is quite comfortable, you can just step forward a little bit, right? So from here, when you take your hands back, you can go deeper. So just remember, inhale as you go back, exhale as you come up, right? So this way you keep practicing, yeah? So just do a couple of rounds. Okay, and just be easy about it, right? There's no stress. And then you feel like you want to do a little bit more to deepen your back bend some more, then you step forward a little bit. So when you go back, you try to go as low as you can. Right? So that's not going to happen straight away. It takes weeks, months of consistent practice to improve your back bends. But this is the system, this is the process. Yeah. So remember to enjoy your practice, that the practice is not about getting anywhere, but really enjoying every step of the way. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's episode, familiarizing yourself with the different elements of the sun salutation or the Surya Namaskaram, right? So it's important that you practice this with the awareness of your breathing, with the awareness of the alignment. Otherwise, there's no point in just simply creating some shapes with the body. Then that is all we get out of it, right? So what we put into the practice, the awareness, the knowledge, the intelligence, right? That is what we get out of it. So for it to become a truly transformative meditative practice, a devotional practice, right? We do it with awareness of the breath, with awareness of mantras. Actually, each movement also has a certain mantra with it, which I didn't go into today. And also with awareness of how to move, right? Then the body becomes, instead of 12 different movements, it just becomes one flow, right? So, towards that beautiful flow in all of us. Namaste.